Hello everyone, Jammy Jet here. Today we're playing Saints Row 4, which finally came out here in the UK last night. So I'm just going to be doing a Let's Look At video. If you guys want to see several more videos of me just messing around and doing all sorts, basically this game is just one of those games where if you're a massive fan of Saints Row 3, or Saints Row the 3rd should I say, this is just like Saints Row the 3rd on steroids. It's just mental. Okay, let's just talk about the basics. You've got powers. About 55 minutes into the game you get superpowers. The super sprint and the super jump, although that wasn't probably the best example. You can also climb up buildings like this, and it's really literally the fourth mission, or the full story based mission that you do. You don't have to do them in that order, or you don't have to do 4 missions. You can just do quests in between the main quests, or the primary quests as they're called. And then there are these things called clusters. Collecting them gives you points, which you can then use to upgrade your powers, which at the moment is super sprint, super jump, and this thing called ice blast, which is under, I believe, the right button on the gamepad for PC, as I'm playing it on PC. And you can now, I've got like things where I can glide now if I do a jump, so I'll just do a really, see, I can glide over to this building now, land safely. So let's test out the ice blast on a few innocent civilians. So now they're frozen, and you just shoot them there. Oh, and a brief update, I do have the Wii U, so I should be doing a video in a few days on that. That will be interesting. It's New Super Mario Bros. U probably, maybe a Let's Play, I don't know. That could be fun. But this game is hilarious. It's just the story and just in general is funny. If you like the humour that the previous Saints Row games have had, this game follows the pattern. It's just funny as, especially when you play as a character voiced by Nolan North, who's hilarious. So let's try and freeze this car. Wow, you can't. Let's jump up. I don't know what guns I've got. A laser thing. I haven't actually got any of the cool guns which you get later on. Later on in the game, you get guns like the dubstep gun, which basically, you know, plays songs and makes everything explode, which is flipping awesome. It's the randomness of this game is hilarious. I believe later in the game you get power to levitate things, like kind of like. It seems very similar to that of the gravity gun in, I want to say Half-Life. It kind of feels a bit like the gravity gun. You pick it up and you can then move it around with the controller or the keyboard, depending on how you play. So let's just show a bit of vehicle play. Let's show a bit of vehicle time. So as you can see, you can. I was going to say you can. You're not gonna kill me, are you? Let's go. So as you notice, I'm not gonna give away too many spoilers because I'm not into a spoiler or a mission, like an area which could contain spoilers. This is free roaming around Steelport, which is the location. I think this is the biggest concern people have about the game, is the fact that it has the same location as that of Saints Row the 3rd, and people are like, oh, it's the same game, but it's got aliens. It's a bit deeper than that. It's got a whole different story. It's set after the previous game. This game was originally going to be like a DLC thing, kind of like what Far Cry 3 did with Blood Dragon as a separate game that doesn't require the base game as Saints Row the 3rd. And it was going to be like a DLC thing. And then earlier, or mid last year, I think they decided to make a full-on sequel for this game. And I'm very glad that they did, because this plays incredibly well. So now I have nitrous on all this. You get the typical upgrades on the phone. Let me just show you that. You have a thing called the cash, which is basically cash. Cash, as in your money, and it's like the bank that you had in the previous game. You've got the upgrades which you use with your cash, which has that weird symbol. This is some sort of alien monies. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Transfer rate. Oh, that's nice. So I'll get that next. Can't quite afford that. I haven't got any missions. I don't really want to do any missions to give away too much. But okay. So they've changed the button for boosting, which I've noticed. Instead of clicking down, you press the sprint button, which seems a bit more fluid. A lot of games do use the sprint button or the LB button for that purpose. So as you can see, aliens have taken over the city. Everything's pretty demented. There are don't just think you spend the whole game going around Steelport. There are parts of the game where you go out and do missions elsewhere in the game. There are different simulations that you get to visit. There are parts where you go out the simulation completely, which I've recently done. So it's not just all about Steelport. Steelport is kind of like the hub. You're always going to come back to this place, but when you do leave it, you know, don't expect to never visit again, because you will be back shortly. You never leave it for more than half an hour's worth of gameplay. Usually, you know, you don't leave it for too long. So I'm just going to go ahead and get out here. Well, that, and I'm gonna little dive. Let's have a look. Let's see where we can go. Just do random stuff. Oh, there's a gang up here. So this is like the I say gang because I'm obviously used to playing Saints Row the Third, where you had to kill gangs. Instead, it's like groups of aliens. These are the guys who have taken over the planet and put you in this simulation. So nothing you see is real. You are somewhere in the real world. I'm not going to try and I'm not going to give away too much about the plot. I'm only going to reveal stuff that the trailer reveals, which, if any of you guys haven't seen, is pretty hilarious. You got your typical Saints Row characters returning, like Sean D, Pierce Washington. So it's nice to see them returning. Kinsey Kensington, of course. Let's kill this last one. There we go. 3 of 32. So you have the leveling up system in this game too. Level 6 at the moment in this. I haven't played it for too long. I put a few hours into it. I'll be honest, but I haven't put a ridiculous amount of time into it yet. 3 hours, and probably half of that time wasn't even me on my file. That's my brother's playing it as well, because he wanted to have a look at it. So it's a pretty interesting game. I really do like what they did. I think it's the right direction for the Saints Row games to take. I know a lot of people were thinking Saints Row Third was so good that how could they possibly top it, and I think they've probably just about done it. They've kept the old Steelport look and the, you know, the crazy hilarious humor that the game had, and they've just, you know, they've gone up to 11. They've notched up to 11 basically is what they've done. It's just 10 times the fun, 10 times the humor, 10 times the mental. It's just everything's crazier, weirder, makes less sense than ever before, and I think that's what I like about the game. It still feels like a Saints Row game, but I like the fact that you can now jump around and sprint as opposed to having to find a vehicle, or, you know, that did seem a bit tedious in the previous game, having to just constantly find areas, or rather cars to, especially if you're in an area that doesn't have many cars and you've got to like find a car, and it's just like, oh, why have you got to do that? So I'm just going to make this video as short as possible, short and sweet, as they say. So if I just kill this bastard, die. Let's disable the generator. So there's 3 generators to this thing, and when we pull the shield down, let's leap up. Right, seems like there's a hell of a lot of... Wow, who is doing that? Oh my god, who is doing that? Right. Am I on low health? Who is shooting me? Is that like where are these giant laser beams coming from? I honestly have no idea where they're coming from. I'm just gonna hide for my life, or run for my life and hide. Oh nice, there's a cluster here which you used to buy the upgrade. Oh, there! Are they shooting? Is that what they were doing? Oh shit. Who the fudge sticks is doing that? I'm just gonna... Okay, come on. I'm on low health, but I can do this. Yes! I've flip-a-flopping done this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna assume that I have to climb up this building because there seems to be something right at the top of it. Jumpy jump jump. See, it's pretty cool how you can just wall jump up just about everything. It's pretty fun, and it means you don't have to grab a vehicle or a plane or a helicopter rather. Instead of having to, you know, to try and if there's a collectible at the top of the building, it's just like no, screw it. Let's just wall jump up it. Okay. There we go. Looks like. Nope, I'm not leaving the hotspot area. Don't tell me what I'm doing. I'm doing fine and dandy actually. Snappage. Snipper snopper. Yes, take that. That's what you get. Oh no. Did I die? No. No, I didn't die. I wasn't even watching my health. I was sort of just... Where am I? Okay, I have no idea where I am. I actually have no flipping clue as to where I am. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this is a group of thugs. Oh, it's not a group. It's not a gang. It's group of aliens, or I don't even know what they call it in this because I haven't really played it for too long. This will be the fourth one I've found, I think. It's annoying you don't get grenades in this. You just get this freeze thing. So. Let's go up here. I've noticed the frame rate's gone a tiny bit choppy since I've been recording. Every so often it does freeze a bit. I don't know how it's looking for you guys, but for me it is looking a tiny bit choppy. Just a tad. Just because of the Camtasia running in the background, I think that might have affected it a bit. That does happen for some games, so... Or quite a lot of games, to be honest, it happens. So, I can't really knock it for that. Swap back to my trusty SMG, the best weapon in the game, by far, in my opinion. I can't say the best game in the gun without saying my opinion in it. So what should we do? I'm trying to remember where that thing was that I was in the middle of destroying, and then suddenly, it just teleports me in the middle of nowhere. That is something that I've noticed that happens in the Saints Row games. You're in the middle of doing something. If it's not a story mission, it just puts you in a random place, like a local spawn point, and you're like, "What? I didn't want to do it." I think this is the same one. I think this is it. The one I was in the middle of doing, and it looks like they've all respawned. So, whoop-de flippin' do to take out these ugly mother fudgers again. I know. How? How am I that awesome? I'm going to try and do this without killing enough, like, too many. Because I think that's what gets you noticed by the... Oh, that car just froze. Hey! That was uncalled for. Oh, come on. Oh, there's one.